Oh, fuck. Let's get this over with. Christ almighty, what's the point? People who buy sports games don't go to E3. They won't sell more FIFA or Madden based on how long they talk about it at E3. We get it. You have Champions League, now fuck off, and I'll see you in October. Battlefield 5. Looks a bit shit. It also has Battle Royale. Ha! Off you fuck. Unravel 2. Moving on. Anthem. Looks, based on what we've seen, incredible. Just wonderful. So yeah, well done. Also, EA going for moral applause by declaring no loot boxes or microtransactions, as if that's something we should applaud. Battlefront 2 is finally getting Clone Wars and some vague ground to space mode. A few months too late, game is dead, just like this conference. Oh, and NBA Live looks decent. Okay, now this is more like it. Rage 2, the sequel to the game you forgot about before even playing it, actually looks, at least, more colourful than the original, so it's got that going for it, but you've already forgotten about this one. Expect a review. Starfield exists. That's it. Elder Scrolls 6 is real, so please stop asking about it. Skyrim is now available for Amazon's Alexa device, because of course it is. Elder Scrolls Blaze is not the next installment we wanted, but the one we've got. On mobile. Off you fuck. Fallout 76. Real talk. Looks stunning. I don't buy Fallout, I never have, but I'm going to buy this one. Now as multiplayer, which leaves a lot of questions as to how it works. The reveal trailer was awesome. Bethesda did well. Todd Howard is a charismatic guy and sold me a bunch of stuff I didn't know I needed, but now I want. Also Doom 2, but not really Doom 2, except it is Doom 2. CGI trailer should be good. No Avengers, no Deus Ex, a weird cringy prequel to Life is Strange 2, another shitty Kingdom Hearts trailer. A video press conference that was about as unnecessary as James Cameron preparing for 4 Avatar sequels. The first was good, but overrated, let it go. Third Tomb Raider in what feels like as many years. The first was good, and they'd squeezed about what they could. It's not Uncharted, deal with it. The big third-party dog. They opened with a game no one gives a shit about in Just Dance. Assassin's Creed continues its trend to shoehorn assassins into every historical setting with less and less prevalence in the actual assassinating. Set in Greek times, I'll obviously buy it. Expect a review. The Division 2 looks good, and its developers say they've heard complaints about the first one. I don't know how they couldn't. It was allowed as a brawler running at me whilst having 59 bullets in his left eye. Beyond Good and Evil 2. The world looks exciting and different, I assume. Still no solid gameplay, so I remain skeptical. Trials game. It's Trials. You either know it or you don't. If you don't, then you don't need to. Nintendo's Star Fox is coming to Starlight and Battle 4. I'm so not interested, I've actually just interrupted myself. For Honor support was surprising, and what they showed had me contemplating download it again, only to instantly delete it after getting knocked off another fucking ledge. Skull and Bones is the great AC4 Black Flag we've all been asking for, but Ubisoft to make. It'll be shit. Expect a review. They didn't reveal a Splinter Cell, and that makes me sad, noticing a trend of reveals that should have happened that didn't. I should care, but I don't. Never have, so that's me being biased. Oh well. Regardless, 25 minutes talking about every single character from Smash Bros. Is a piss take and a poor attempt at a conference. No Metroid Prime, no Mario DLC, no Bayonetta 3, Fortnite coming. If you're trying to make me not buy Nintendo, you're doing a great job. Holy shit! This is how you conference. Which stage set up aside, you can't deny Microsoft knocked it out of the park. Over 50 games, yes, not all exclusive as they tried to make you think, but opening with a new Halo that looks back to the original art style was a sign of things to come. Good job 343. It took you 2 games to figure out what we actually wanted. The new gear looks really good, a more personal story with an interesting spin, despite the fact it's now the 5th game in the franchise that appears to not die. Forza Horizon 4 is a car fan's wet dream. No one gives a shit about PUBG, so there was that reveal. A lot of third-party reveals that aren't exclusive, but still good to have. Dying Light 2, Cyberpunk 2077, Metro Exodus, The Division 2 got a spot. Todd Howard himself came out to introduce Fallout 76 before the Bethesda conference. Devil May Cry 5 was revealed and looks like a return to form. Shadow of the Tomb Raider got a trailer. That's all I have on that. Halo, Gears, Forza and Metro are all stellar titles that to be at the same conference is a real declaration of intent. The announcement of more first-party studios, such as Ninja Theory, was a great reveal and a great place to do it. Crackdown 3 is still a thing and somehow doesn't look completely awful. Game Pass looks more and more like a sound investment for the player. PS4 player basically convinced to buy an Xbox with this one conference. Good job. Sony. You had to go and buy into your own success over the past E3s. A small tent, witness to the start of the conference, which was The Last of Us 2 gameplay. Yes, looks stunning, and probably won't be too far from what the game actually looks like if the last one was anything to go by. It looks a lot more violent and gory. Ellie is grown up and kissing women at a band dance. Expect a review. Then, Sony has the audacity to have an intermission after one game. And then they have Sean Layden, head of Sony, talk to some people in a random booth about games and the conference while they move the audience to a new location and begin the conference at least 10 to 15 minutes later. Why? This is insulting to the people who moved around and the people watching it. The show resumes and we see a number of excellent games. Spider-Man, Control, Ghost of Tsushima looks good, if a little Assassin's Creed 1 combat. Days Gone has lost a lot of hype for me personally, and the more I see, the more I worry. Death Stranding. What does anyone say about this now? The third trailer this time, with gameplay for what seemed like forever. We know literally less with every trailer. Norman Reedus looks good, is apparently a delivery man and not a high enough level to see things, but he can sense them. Whatever that means, I'm intrigued, and Kojima with no restrictions is a very promising thing. I'm confused, and I like it. Expect a review. Resident Evil 2 remake looks simply stunning, and having never played the original, I'm all over that like a zombie on a college student's face. This is relevant to Sony, but everyone else in general, especially Rage 2 and Andrew WK. If I see another live music performance at next year's E3, which nobody gives a shit about, I will kill myself. No Red Dead Redemption, no Splinter Cell, no Superman game, no Rocksteady, no Final Fantasy VII, no Borderlands 3, the core Pokemon game for Switch, and more. This year's E3 was one of what we already knew and very little surprises. Except for FIFA 19. Wasn't expecting that one. Expect a review. For me, the surprises came at Xbox's conference with games that got revealed and their lineup. They damn near shot themselves at the start when they brought out the Xbox One, but it seems on the surface at least, and with the investment in new studios, that they have learned it's a games console and not an entertainment hub. Bethesda and Ubisoft was solid, if uninspiring. The less said about Square Enix and EA the better, and Nintendo is simply Nintendo. Sony's lackluster delivery stalled what would have been a very good conference. The games on show looked incredible, but they were always playing catch up after the terrible intermission. Microsoft wins this year's E3.